I want to talk about something for just a second, and it happens to be about on a motorcycle and when you see motorcycles going between cars. Now, there's two very distinct differences. The first one is what they call lane splitting, and that is when the vehicles or the cars are moving. If the vehicles are moving, going between the lanes on the line on a two-wheeled vehicle is illegal in the state of Arizona. Now, there's a couple of differences. Since 2022, Arizona legalized lane filtering. Filtering is quite a bit different than splitting. Splitting, vehicles moving. Filtering, vehicles not moving. So this instant would be at a red light. Vehicles are stopped. Motorcycle goes between the cars up to and with the front cars and then goes. Now, people get upset probably because the motorcycle got further up in line and they think they need to wait their turn. But really, this law is for motorcycle safety. And there's a couple of rules that motorcyclists have to abide to do this correctly. So, number one, the road that they're doing it on has to have more than one lane, right? It can't go, over between the turn lane and the one lane. That's not what you want to do. It needs to have two lanes. It needs to be on a road where the speed limit is 45 or under. And when the motorcycle is splitting between the cars need to be stopped. Motorcycle needs to be going no greater than 15 miles an hour. Now, again, you may be questioning, why is this legal? Why did they do this? So, unless you've been on a motorcycle, you might not understand this. But when you're on a motorcycle, especially the sports ones, for one, look at the size of the tail light. It's really small, okay? And when you're sitting behind a vehicle and that little inky-dinky light is the only thing indicating that there is another person between a car that's potentially stopping and the next car that is distracted, listening to their music really high, whatever, not paying that much attention, very often a motorcycle gets rear-ended from a car literally just coming to a stop. Unless you've been on a motorcycle and realized just how scary it is to sit at a red light, freaking out about the cars coming up behind you. I mean, cars get so close to, you just about have to pull their emblems out of when you start going. I mean, it's bad. I mean, I'm nervous as heck sitting there behind a car. I'll start flashing my brakes, trying to get their attention like, hey, I'm sitting here. It does seem maybe to some vehicle operators or drivers that going between the cars is dangerous for the motorcyclists. I tell you what, I feel a lot safer doing that and getting up to the front than I do sitting behind somebody waiting for a distracted driver to hit into me. As a motorcycle, you're trying to figure out what's going to happen, what you're going to do if somebody does that. So maybe you park at an angle, when you're waiting for that red light so the front of your bike goes forward. But let's be real, somebody bumps you with that amount of force, with that 10,000-pound vehicle, you're going to go flying onto the vehicle in front of you. It's just what's going to happen, okay? So very carefully, 15 miles an hour, going between the cars and getting to the front, that's a lot safer than sitting and waiting for somebody to rear end you. Because your tail light, that little itty bitty thing, kind of blends into the tail lights in front of you. And it's really hard for distracted drivers to tell the difference and that there's a motorcycle there. And let's be honest, it's not going to slow you down. You didn't get another spot in line just because a motorcycle got to the front. Because when I take off, even on my big slow Harley, right, I'm going to be clear through the intersection and partially going down the lane before you're even halfway across the intersection. Unless you're in some sort of really fast sports car and you decide to try and race. And even then, I'm just going to pick the other lane. I'm not going to race you. I don't care. I'm just getting up there to be safe. And a lot of motorcyclists do this right. Now, yes, there are some that don't. They go over the 15. They do it when cars are moving. All that is illegal. But in the state of Arizona, speed limit 45 or under. Motorcyclists going 15 miles or less, aka first gear, potting up there, stopping, and then going and getting in a lane. That is perfectly legal and is safe. So don't tell me that the motorcyclists that is going up between the cars really nice and slow and careful is putting himself at danger. Actually, he's making it safer for himself because he's not going to sit there waiting for somebody to rear end him. All right. Hope that you found this video helpful, that it was educational in some way, and have a good day.